All right, ready?
All right, we're live. Hey, what's up, everybody? And
Hello.
we're joined by Mick.
All right, we are.
Mick.
All right, we're live. Hey,
Very,
what's
very
up,
high
everybody?
volume. Hold on, let me turn your volume.
And we are joined by Mick.
So we're live. We are a go-go, are we?
We are a
It
go-go.
is very, very high in volume.
Alright.
Hold on, let me turn your
We're all
volume.
go-go now. Okay,
Good.
let's say what up to everybody here in the chat. Thanks for joining us. We are live.
We are a
on air.
go-go.
Mick, where are
We're a
you?
go-going. Okay, let's
So,
say what up to
for those
everybody
who
here in
were
the
with
chat.
us
Thanks for
yesterday,
joining us. We are
at
live
Spinsters
on the air.
Rock.
Mick,
Or those who
Where
are aware
are
of it, we
you?
are a 15-minute drive from there. So we're in Dartmoor National Park, part of this Dartmoor National Park tour we are doing. So yesterday we were at a dolmen, which is a particular type of megalithic site. Today we are at another type, which is on the side of a massive hill. We're a little bit out of breath because we were a little bit late getting up here, and it's pretty steep. So the view, if you want to have a look at where we are, is absolutely sensational. It's a national park. Typical English scenery, so it's beautiful, lovely sunny day we've had, and behind us we have what is a row of stones. So Dartmoor National Park is an area where there are a lot of stone rows. It's probably one of the densest areas in the world, I would think. We know about Carnac in France. And there's another area in the south of France or south central France called Cham de Bondon, where there's another sort of 150 stone rows, stones forming different rows in a hilly area. But then there's only there's like two in Portugal and then one in Germany, and there's some in Ireland as well. But in Dartmoor, there's loads of them. So this is an example of one where there's 3 lines in a row. This is very rare. I'm not sure actually of any others. People can probably look that up and see if there are other sites where there are 3 rows in a row or in a line.
Well, we actually, just to bring it back to what you were speaking of, there are some other stone sites that you were mentioning that are similar to this that you've seen. I want to pull those up.
to bring it back to what you were speaking of, there are some other stone sites that you were mentioning.
Okay, so what you want the names of the ones in the different countries?
What was one that you had mentioned
next to this site so we can see them side by side?
So if you, there's Cham de Bondon, is CHAM.
What was one that you had mentioned right off the bat?
Space BONDON, I think, with an S in the end. And it's in one of our films. It's in one of the first ones we did years ago. It's called the Standing Stones of France or something like that. And we went there. And there's probably, I think there's 4 rows, but there were some big stones there, and again, beautiful scenery, much like this. And then there's Carnac, which, again, we've done the whole film about that site, which is where there's about 3,000 to 4,000 stones in, 4 kilometers? I think they're all in the line there, aren't they? And,
yeah, and you can see it right beneath you here. This drone footage is one of the largest stone row in the world found so far, right? And this
and you can see it right beneath you here. This drone footage is one of the largest, the largest.
So that's playing right underneath you.
In the
can
world
see that footage
found so far, right?
And to the right,
Carnac.
Cham de Bondon.
Yeah.
And
so that's playing right underneath you. You can see that.
Yeah, a couple photos on the.
And then to the right, you can see the Cham.
Then you could look up also these stone roads. Sometimes they're just on their own.
Yeah.
We're going to walk up this way in a minute anyway. Obviously, we're not just going to stand here all the time. But they form avenues. So, for example, at Avery, we've walked up this one. Jay, there's the avenue where there's 2 rows of stones, and you walk up to the stone circle. And Callanish Stone Circle in Scotland as well is also a really famous one, where there's I think there's either side of the stone circle there's rows. There's at least one, I know for sure, and that's hopefully somewhere we would like to go on. We might do a tour of Scotland. But should we start slowly walking up?
I think so. Here, let me full screen you. There you go.
They're not perfectly straight, the lines. But then God knows how much these have shifted over the years. So I've got a little cough. Yeah, so, and they're tiny stones. This is one of our kind of mission statements, I guess, is to show the smaller sites, isn't it? You know, there's plenty of documentation for pyramids and Machu Picchu and all these ones. But I think we're missing a big part of the picture if we ignore even these small ones. I mean, this isn't really strictly megalithic, because you could imagine that, you know, some school kids could probably build this really if they had some tools or some means, you know. So this isn't strictly megalithic, and this doesn't prove our point towards like saying that there could have been a civilization that was more advanced, but it's just a part of the puzzle. Like, why on earth have the ancients built these things? And I've got some information we spoke to Anne, who's the lady who's been giving us the crystals from Sweden. She's a psychic and a dowser. And we spoke to her on the phone when we were here earlier, and I've got some really interesting information that she gave us, because she can connect to the sites, as can people who are watching as well. So...
And I just want to take this moment too. Let's talk to the chat. Greetings to everyone joining us. This is our second day of our Dartmoor tour. Mick is.
And I just want to take this moment too. Let's talk to the chat. Greetings to everyone joining us.
Inspired Minds.
This is our second day of our Dartmoor tour. Mick is at the Cosdon Hill Stone
Am I saying that right? Asked,
hi to Inspired
Minds. Did they actually chop off all the trees, or why are there none at all?
Hi, hello.
Why are there no trees?
Janosh, am I saying that right? Asks, did they actually chop off all the trees, or why are there none at all?
More sort of short grass, bushy, sort of lower level vegetation. There are some, so there's two.
Oh, windy.
But and there are some like patches of wood, and I would think that they have actually, over the years, you know, England's been inhabited for a long time. I would have think that this used to be all forest and it's been chopped down, because there are, as I say, you can see patches over here. So this probably would have been covered. So, as I was saying, there is.
I want to add to that.
Sorry, man.
Oh, okay.
You go, mate.
I was going to add that, you know, a lot of England's deforestation.
I will say
it was under my.
I want to add to that
it happened during the
wars.
Okay.
I was going to add that, you know, a lot of England's deforestation happened. It was under my impression that it happened during the wars.
I know there was a lot of it over the years, but God knows. You can probably Google it.
No, I think there's a whole story about the like kings throughout the world, or throughout history, of taking down trees in England. And
no, I think there's a whole story about the like kings throughout the world, or throughout history, taking down trees in England.
So there's two different ways
been heavily deforested.
You can visit these sites. And for most of my life, I was just coming to here, taking photos, and not really connecting to them in a way that other people like dowsers and psychics and people who meditate, were connecting to them in a different way than I was. And recently, I was given some advice and some guidance that there are ways that you can connect to the spirits and to the other realms at these sites, and it's had some really interesting results for myself. So one of the things that Anne told me is that you find the biggest stone and you take one of these dowsing rods and you get a yes or no from it. So earlier on, I was speaking to Anne, and I basically put the dowsing rod at this stone, and it really swung around this way. It was pointing towards this one. I would try it now, but honestly, this wind is really strong. It wasn't as strong as this earlier, so you just have to kind of take my word for it. I do have the dowsing rods, but it felt like it was pointing to this stone, and when I put it over the stone, it just started spinning around. So it was quite interesting to me. And so this is supposed to be the entrance stone. It's a stone where you're supposed to come to these sites, and if you find the entrance stone and you kind of ask permission to enter, and it's in that you're humble and you ask to come in, almost like asking to come into somebody's house. And then there's sometimes like a portal or the two stones you walk through to enter these sites, and it can cause you to have more sort of, what's the word, sort of paranormal, sort of psychic-y type experiences. So for example, I felt some emotions from some of the stones at Avebury. And I know I sound like a freak saying that. I'm sure some people think, oh, sure, yeah. And some people think, what a whack job. But I'm just being honest. And I mean, I think it was because I did this asking permission to come and visit the site in a more sort of connected kind of way. So I'm sharing that information because I think it's important, because I think people that could be watching this could try this out and have a different kind of experience. So yeah, so this would be the kind of entrance stone. She was telling us all sorts of really interesting things to do with. I'm not sure if she's in the chat. We were speaking to her, and she was in Sweden, crossing of some ley lines, doing a meditation. So probably not. But she was saying that you basically walk up through these stones, and as you're going along, your thought processes change, and you do it at a slow pace. And by the time you get to the end, there's some kind of healing process has gone on, and you might have like got rid of something like anxiety or some kind of thing. So it goes along the lines of thinking that these are healing places, which is backed up by like the blue stones at Stonehenge, for example, the healing stones. And so this isn't just some wishy-washy idea. So at the end up here, right at the end, there's 3 big stones. So she told us that when you get to the end here, you're supposed to kind of offer a present or a gift. And I'm not sure what that means. I haven't actually got anything, but I kind of do have something. I have a crystal, some of the crystals that she's given us. So I'm gonna do some digging. How you doing, Jay? We should maybe get some maps up of some ley lines and stuff.
Yeah, you're full right now. You're full screen.
Oh, right.
But it's a good time to go to the comments. Let's check out what is going on while you're doing this.
Yeah, you're full right now. You're full screen.
Josh says, my personal theory is that
but it's a good time to go to the comments. Let's check out what is going on while you're doing this.
Yeah.
Sue Purvis joins us again, as well as Sandra.
Josh says, my personal theory is that the stones have some connection to electromagnetic currents of the Earth.
Hey Sue, how are you?
Sue Purvis joins us again, as well as Sandra Keel. Hello, hello. Hey Mick, me again. How's it going from Sue? Awesome vista from her, Janosh.
So what's going on?
So I'm going to bury a crystal.
All right.
So Anne, this good friend of mine now, who's just dowser from Sweden, gave me a big box of crystals, and these are connected to some other dowsers around Sweden who are doing. There's a lot of work going on underground. I didn't know this much really, but we've met recently at some of these sites because we've been on a tour now for the whole of lockdown pretty much. So we've probably seen 30 sites in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and we've met some dowsers along the way. And there's a whole community of people doing all sorts of really interesting work to do with helping these ley lines and helping the earth energies, which is something I really didn't realize until recently. So she has given me a load of these crystals and asked me to bury one at every site I go at, and to connect them mentally to all of the other sites that I've ever visited. So why wouldn't I do it? It sounds cool anyway. And I'm now of the belief, because of some of my experiences, that this actually does make some kind of difference. So I'm happy to do it. So I am going to bury this crystal in here.
Close and to people the stone, huh?
Yeah, I think so. And people can connect to it. I connect this crystal to all the other crystals we've been burying recently. I connect it to crystals that I found in the stones at these sites. People can connect it to other sacred sites they've been to, and they can do it through the camera. It's a kind of like a remote viewing kind of way of operating, I guess you could say. So you can remotely connect to these and connect where you're from, and it's supposed to. Lots of people say these dowsers and this community of people I'm meeting say that it is having a good effect on the planet and the vibration of the planet and these kind of things. So, and I'm fully behind any kind of thing that helps uplift the planet. So why wouldn't I? There we go. So now as I say, I take a moment and just imagine walking around some of the sites I've been to. I can sometimes remember the footage I was taking.
Oh man, man, the wind is brutal.
Is it?
Yeah.
I can hide. Is that better?
There you go. Perfect. Take this moment to go back to the comments real quick. Sue mentions,
the wind is a little
hey, I got the spare part so I can finish assembling the chair now. Just call me DIY Sue.
There you go. Perfect.
Inspired
Take this moment to go back to the
it is
comments
great
real
to
quick.
hear about
Sue
all this
mentions,
underground work
hey, I got
going
the
on.
spare part so I can finish assembling the chair now. Just call me DIY Sue.
Yeah. And there's a lot.
Inspired Mind says,
surprising
it is
amount.
great to hear about all this underground work that is going on. Thank you, Inspired Minds.
Yeah, so there we go. So I'm not sure if can you pull up the megalithic.co.uk webpage and see what does it say on the
pull that up. Pulled.
What does it say on there? Does it say what kind of info has it got on there?
Oh, can I pull that up?
On a flattish shelf of land on the eastern side
so here it is.
of the hill, Dartmoor, are the splendid remains of Cairn and Treble Stone Row. Three parallel rows run off down the hillside.
On a flattish shelf of land on the eastern side of Cosdon Hill,
about 1.5 meters
are the splendid remains of Cairn and Treble Stone Row.
Perhaps up
the
to
three parallel rows run off down the hillside
where
from Cairn in an
large
approximately easterly
triangular
direction,
block of stone can be found.
spaced about 1.5 meters apart for a distance.
It goes on. The rows are not straight and curve slightly to the south, then back to the north down the hill. As usual, the larger stones are near the cairn, between 2 and 3 feet high, and they generally get smaller the further away from the cairn that they are, with a few notable exceptions. Each of the rows has a large slab placed across the rows at its end by the cairn, but these are perhaps not their original positions and do not line up with each other. The upper part of these rows survives in a very good state, but the lower part of the rows remains in a much more ruinous and buried state. Partway down the rows are an old track and has been driven through the rows, but even here, stones still remain standing between the two sections of the cut track way. A smashing place to while away some time. That is the most English sentence I've ever understood. Are you whiling? Are you whiling away some time right now?
I am, absolutely. I love whiling. Right, okay, so it brings up some good points. Yeah, you can see the lines aren't exactly straight, and they keep going for about, they say it's 140 meters, which is hard to tell, but about that. And then you get up here, it mentions cairns, doesn't it? This whole area is actually covered in stuff. So if we look here, I'm trying to help you out with the wind, man. How's that if I'm covering up with my
it's slightly muffled, but you're doing fine.
Slightly better. All right. So, yeah, this would have been probably a cyst. They call these cysts. And you can imagine that this would have been like a little area where a body could have gone. And then I think this would have been on top here. They found remains at some of these things, these cysts. And they're in places like Portugal, quite a few places in Europe, but they're all over. Look, you can see, even walking over here, this whole plateau is covered in stones that look like they might have had shaping done to them. For example, there's another like hole here. Looks like it was something. There's a stone over here. It looks like it's been kind of cut or shaped or something. There's a flat surface here, and then the gouge out of it. So again,
look at that.
We try and look at similarities between things that we see when we come to all these sites, and I've seen these now in Sweden and Germany and countless places. And if I saw that one rock on its own, I'd say, oh, it's probably just natural, but it's in this place with loads of other stones that also look like they've been kind of shaped, basically. And it goes on and on. There's some big cairns here. You can probably see on the megalithic on the website on the map at the bottom there. I think there's quite a few cairns, isn't there? But this is the main man. And thinking of ley line energies and stuff, like we were thinking earlier about what this would be doing and trying to hypothesize about why they would have put these stones in here. And we were imagining ley lines like just it's a dynamic system, you know, it changes. They don't always go through exactly the same part of the planet or part of the earth. and we're wondering that this would be some kind of like anchoring system, almost like, I don't know, like a magnet for them, so that the ley lines would pass as they're coming through the Earth, traveling in that direction. They would come through this site, so that you could almost like directing the energy to a place where you could use it. Maybe it was useful for them for healing, or also maybe it was helping the planet as well by
following the path of least resistance, essentially, right? Trying to direct it like water.
Yeah, exactly that. So there's, I don't know, I think they've reconstructed here, haven't they? So
yeah, and you can see just right up above me here, right up about there.
Right, following the path of least resistance, essentially,
listed,
right?
The nearby list.
Trying to direct it like water.
The entire area. The map is up above. This is off of megalithic.co.uk. This is a site that if you're joining us here and if you followed us on YouTube for a while, you know about.
Yeah, and you can see just right up above me here, right up about there. You can see these are all nearby sites listed, right? The nearby listings
right here,
for the entire area. The map is up above. This is off of megalithic.co.uk. This is a site that, if you're joining us here and you've followed us on YouTube for a while, you know about. And if you're just joining us for the first time, please check out Megalithic. They are
really
20 sites.
An incredible resource. But just looking right here, the list above my head, we're talking about, I'm not going to count it, but it's definitely over 12, maybe 20 sites that are the most, the farthest one from you, Mick, is 3.1 kilometers.
Yeah, probably.
20 sites. The farthest one is 3.1 kilometers. I mean, they're 10 meters away is the Cosdon Hill Cairn Circle,
and then
which is a stone circle.
So there's loads
10 meters west of you.
So then there's about 3/4 of it. So 700.
Yeah, it could be.
West
probably
is the Cosdon Hill Summit Cairns. So you're on the Cosdon Hill, and then at the top of that hill, the very tip top, is apparently another cairn.
Really?
Oh yeah, so then there's about a cliff, well, about 3/4. So
we should have
735 meters west is the Cosdon Hill Summit Cairn. So you're on the Cosdon Hill, and then at the top of that hill, the very tip top, is apparently another cairn.
Next time. I wish I could fly it over from now from here.
Yeah. We should have probably gone live as you were walking up the hill so everyone could see what it really
I don't think it's a circle, actually, but it could be something.
Yeah. So that's the circle.
Next time.
Maybe. I don't know.
I wish I could fly it over from here.
I mean, these things get so
they don't make 7,000-mile batteries for those things yet.
But there's also another large stones that's about 100 meters in that direction. I'm not sure if that's
so that's the circle. We can
past there.
Pull that up and pull up the information on it.
It's kind of potentially modern. It could go either way, really. So I'm not sure if that's on the map that you've got.
Yeah, the cairn on the summit is definitely. It's a pile of rubble at this point.
Yeah.
5 cairns there. It's just piles of rocks. I mean, it would be similar to something in.
Yeah, the cairn on the summit is definitely.
Looks like.
It's a pile of rubble at this point.
So there we go.
I'm not sure what else really to add.
These rows.
It would be similar to something in
probably Ireland, in various places around the world. They're really interesting. I don't know what they were up to.
Various scales.
Looks like here's a photo of it.
All sizes, all
varieties. Just pile of rocks.
Yeah. And all the same type of rock. I think there's crystal. I mean, you can see comparing it to spinsters yesterday. You can see it's the same type of stone. It's the one that's got these kind of like white blocks in there that look like crystals.
The quartz, yeah.
I'm guessing quartz. So I don't want to say because I don't know, but these granite stones usually have quartz in them, don't they? But it's certainly some kind of crystal.
That doesn't look like Vercelli granite, though, huh?
No. I wish I had a geologist. We need a geologist on there. There's no one called George. My friend was supposed to come on. He's a geologist. So
next time.
He's obviously, yeah. But no, I'm not too sure. But I just, people use crystals for all sorts of things. You can use crystals for healing and removing energies and so many different things. That actually these were healing sites, and these crystals probably were part of that. And part of the connection to the energy grid system. So I find these places, and look at where we are. It's beautiful. We're gonna probably have a little picnic now.
Oh, epic.
A little bit of salad, Jay, if you want to join us.
Yeah, I'd love a salad. Hard to get in the UK.
Yeah, anyone have any questions?
Yeah, let's reach out to the comments. Please, everyone, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Join in the conversation here. Let's go to...
Oh, epic.
Let's see. Superb has said quite a few.
Yeah, love a salad. Hard to get.
Are those orbs flying across the screen?
I want to reach out to the.
Ooh, we missed it.
Yeah, let's reach out to the comments, please.
Replay the tape.
Please, everyone, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Join in the conversation here. Let's go to. Let's see. Superb has said quite a few minutes ago.
Real crystals.
That's on me. Are those orbs flying across the screen?
Yeah, not.
Ooh, we missed it. I think we're gonna have to replay the tape.
Oh, the ones that we buried?
Yeah,
that for sure.
Referring to. We might have missed something.
Yeah, they're quartz crystals ones we buried.
Janosh asked if they are real crystals or not.
Absolutely.
User S. Navidi says this is so amazing.
Not manufactured.
That's
crystal.
so amazing.
Oh.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
What's up,
Yeah.
S71? How you doing?
For sure, real.
Thank you for joining us. Hello from Edward Ross X.
Cool.
Oh, hello, Edward.
All right.
Awesome.
And
User S. Navidi says this is so amazing.
Ah, excellent. Right.
But that's so amazing.
Joined us yesterday as well. Good to see you
Awesome.
again. Thanks for coming.
What's up, S. Navidi 71? How you doing? Thank you for joining
I saw
us.
a video
Hello from Edward Ross X.
Where he was using a measuring device inside a megalithic
All
site.
right.
I wanted to
And
find
Herr
it again
Janosh says,
because I can't remember what he was measuring.
Excellent. Right. Joined us yesterday as well. Good to see you again. Thanks for coming.
About this subject.
And then we have Herr Janosh says, I saw a video by Howard Crowhurst once where he was using a measuring device inside a megalithic site.
Geometry.
I wanted to find the video again because I can't remember what he was
for
measuring.
example, we found out that one of the,
Now, Mick,
the
you
circle on
actually know quite a bit about this
end,
subject,
or
no?
it might be the eastern end, I can't remember this. It's basically like an egg shape. And he worked out how they used 3 different circles to form that shape, and he worked out all sorts of different, really interesting 3, 4, 5 triangles.
3, 4, 5 triangles.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
all
3,
sorts of
4,
geometry.
5 triangle. 3, 4, 5 triangles, or 3.
No, yeah.
3, 4, 5.
4, 5 triangles. That's
3,
right.
4, 5 triangles, meaning
There was
3, 4,
3,
5.
4,
Like each
5
side is a
triangles?
different length, and the ratio is
And that's
3,
3,
4,
4,
5
5 triangles. 3, 4, 5 triangles?
Yeah.
Or
So
3
anyway, he did a talk on megalithomania. which
3,
was
4,
awesome
5.
website, movement
3, 4, 5 triangles, meaning
and
3,
he went
4,
into so much
5. Like
detail
each
about
side
the
is a
geometry
different
involved in
length,
Karnak
and
and
the ratio is
landscape
3,
around
4,
it,
and
so
5, right?
Dolmen
Of the
and
sides, the
tumuli and
ratios.
all these kind of things.
Right.
So yeah, we know about how Crowhurst, but I didn't know about this instrument. So if anyone has any info about that, that would be really cool. We want kit, to be honest with you. But we don't know really what kit and how much it's going to cost and where to get it and all these kind of things. So if people have got recommendations, that'd be really good.
And that's why we're here.
For example,
So we can,
one of
people
my
can sound
plans
off.
is,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, one of my plans is to, as you can see from the video we did yesterday, I played some music from my drum, put a speaker inside a drum and then fired it at some of the stones. I want to see if that has an effect on the electrical output.
And that's why we're here.
So I need to find a way.
So people
that.
can sound off, yeah.
And there's probably stuff I can get quite cheap, I'm sure. So great that these guys commented that, and yeah, we should follow that up, actually.
I think so.
Yeah.
Now there was actually a time where we went to what was it? We went to oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the site. We went to a dolmen on our very first UK trip, and we bumped into a couple at a dolmen, and he had a device. Now
there was actually a time where we went to.
You remember, it was like a stopwatch.
What was it? We went to. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the site. We went to a dolmen on our very first UK trip,
Wasn't that to do
and we
with,
bumped into a couple at a dolmen, and he had a device around his neck as well.
Is that the thing you're on about?
Do you remember? It was like a stopwatch,
EMF?
but it wasn't a stopwatch.
What was that? Was that noise?
I think something. I don't know what that was. But was there? It was an EMF. He had an EMF meter.
Was it? It was an EMF.
Was
Increased connection
EMF meter.
That's right. Yes, it was. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I think something.
yeah, I'll take one of those. Absolutely.
What it was. Something. What was there? It was an EMF. He had an EMF meter when we went, right? That was what it was. It was testing electromagnetic frequency.
You could post it in the comments or something for this video.
And we'll have this video on. We're trying to figure out how to.
Yeah. Her mentions, if I manage to find the video again, I will let you know. Thank you. Appreciate that.
If you're watching this video after we've gone live, please mention in the comments anything you think.
Yeah, and we'll have this video on. We're trying to figure out how to get these sorted on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you also. I want to say thank you to all
go into the comments and please mention if you're watching this video after.
Comments on all our videos. I've had so many good pointers on ideas and places to visit that I want to just thank them. I was going to make a video to thank them. Probably just an easier way to do it. So yeah, we encourage comments and we listen to everything you say. And, yeah, please help us with this mystery. Please subscribe. I know it sounds pathetic to ask, but please.
Please subscribe.
It's so important to us.
That little click means so much.
Oh, it does. Yeah, we might be able to get some money for this or something.
Just to promote. Yeah.
We've done absolutely everything for no
Please subscribe.
We've had some comments over the
years.
Please. Sponsored by and all this.
That little click, means so much.
Yeah, this is for funsies.
All we ask is a subscription.
Just to promote. Yeah.
Just that little.
If you want, if you like it, I don't want to force anyone. Holy shit, we're cool.
Yeah.
No one. Yeah.
Alright, well,
this is for fun.
Yeah, I think we're coming to the end.
Nothing less.
Sue Purvis says, where will you be tomorrow?
It's that little.
We will try to post that on Facebook, I think. It's a little bit tough to commit it now, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have to do a little testing.
Oh, boy.
Basically, there's a place called Shovel.
Yeah, I think we've come to the end. Sue Purvis says, where will you be tomorrow? We will try to post that on Facebook, I think. It's a little bit tough to commit it now, isn't it? We have to do a little testing mobile.
Really interesting place. It's similar to this, but larger stones. There's an obvious stone circle and stream and stuff, so that's our backup. So it's either going to be one of those two, I would think. But we're having to, because of it's so remote in this part of the world because of the service issues or the internet connection, data, blah blah blah, whatever. We're having to change our plans a little bit. We have posted this map out of exactly where we're going, but some of those will have to be missed probably. We'll see. So one of those two sides, another stone road, which is what Dartmoor's famous for.
That's right. There are multiple just stone rows in the 3 square kilometers that you're in now. Right?
Yeah.
Judging by that map, and plenty more to see. So this is really cool. Hey Mick, thanks for and going out there. Wish I could go with you. And
that's right. There are
awesome.
multiple just stone rows in the 3 square kilometers that you're in now.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Judging by that map, and plenty more to see. So this is really cool.
This has been day 2 of the tour.
Hey Mick, thanks for
plenty more days to come. So
and going out there.
Tomorrow. We'll see everybody tomorrow.
Wish I could go with you. And looks awesome.
Cheers, guys.